Hello everyone, Panda here and welcome back to Shrine Watch. And if you've not somehow seen the news, well, I'm here to break it to you. We are actually getting Alien, the Alien franchise, well, the first movie at least, as the next chapter in Dead by Daylight. And next week we will have the PTB over on August 8th. If you've not already seen the trailer, well, I'm going to show you it here in a second. I have personally already seen it 20 or 30 times, so let's delve in, have a little quick peek. So there's a lot to look at here, and it is good to look at, I've got to say. We know that the next chapter is coming with a killer, a survivor, and also a map, and it has been said, it's not 100% confirmed, but we are getting Alien as the killer, Ellen Ripley, who is Sigourney Weaver in the first Alien film, and also the Nostromo, which is the spaceship from the first film. So that is confirmation that we're having a new indoor map. You know, there's no way that you're going to be going outdoors in space because then you would die. So it's an indoor map, spaceship, futuristic. This is what I've wanted the entire time. Ever since Michael came out and it became apparent that we will be able to actually get stuff from movies and other games and stuff, people have always asked me, Panda, what would your ideal killer be in DBD? And I've always had the same answer, the Xenomorph from Alien. I am just a huge fan. I've been a huge fan for 30 years now. My dad showed me, maybe irresponsibly, Alien and Predator when I was 6 years old, and I've been absolutely in love with the franchise ever since. So looking at the trailer here, we can obviously see it's the Nostromo. It's been damaged, you know, it's towards the end of the film when the aliens wreaked havoc and everything's failing. It looks dark, it looks spooky, it's not brightly lit, which I'm really thankful for. And if you pay some attention, you can see that there is a cat in two scenes here, and that cat is Jonesy from the first film. So we can assume that at some point in the map or in some place, some sort of hidden Easter egg, there is going to be a cat crawling around. And if they do actually follow the schematics of the Nostromo, it's going to look a lot like this, and it's going to be a lot of very straight corridors with 8-sided rooms. Is that octagonal rooms? Lots of them around there. You know, generators, I guess, will be in the hallways and in these rooms. Hopefully it'll have a lot of destroyed scenery. Obviously we saw in the video that there is, you know, stuff's messed up, stuff's broken, stuff hanging from the ceilings. But it does look like it could end up with a map similar to Midwich, which is just straight lines, lots of straight lines and rooms. And how are you going to be able to escape from this map? You're obviously not going to go running out a bloody airlock. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe to escape, you run into a cryostasis room and freeze yourself in a pod? I don't really know what they could do. Some sort of escape pod as the exit? I don't know, but I have a big feeling that as this is probably, is it the biggest license? Maybe the biggest license to be in Dead by Daylight, that they're really going to put a lot of work into this. Now, there is an absolute mountain of just thoughts going around through my head. How is this killer going to work? How is the survivor going to work? Is there going to be some sort of mechanics here? And in my mind, the alien killer is going to be something like a gigantic Victor. Because let's face it, the alien, it's fast, it runs around, it's kind of stealthy, and also it can jump. It can jump, it can leap, it can pounce, it can destroy. And if we just had it walking around like a normal killer, I don't think that's going to work. I just don't think it would look right. So in my opinion, we're going to have some sort of, you know, kind of like Demogorgon, I guess. I said Victor. No, I said Victor because Victor can jump over stuff. And in my mind, the alien is going to be able to jump over loops. Climb over loops? I don't know. The entire aesthetic of the alien is that it can sort of climb up walls, climb on ceilings. That's been a part of the franchise ever since it started, and it's a really recurring theme. There have been many games that have featured the alien as a playable character in the past, and also as an enemy character. Personally, my first experience of playing as an alien in a game was in 1994. We had Alien vs Predator on the Atari Jaguar. This game gave me an absolute nightmare. I was only 8 years old when it came out, and it was really, really hard to control. It was really, really confusing, and I'm not entirely surprised that it was hard to control. Have you seen the Atari Jaguar controller? These controllers actually came with little overlays, little plastic overlays that you put over the buttons on the pad at the bottom, which would let you know what each different button did. And I've got to say, you know, before we had touchscreens and stuff like that, this is actually pretty cool. This is pretty sick, right? But anyway, for 8-year-old little me, that was a bit too much. And then over the years, since 1994, we've had several other different games where you're able to play as the alien. We had Alien vs Predator, Alien vs Predator 2, etc, etc. And in all of these games, we've got a first-person gameplay where you move very fast, you can crawl up walls, you can jump, you can leap, and you can kill basically everyone because you're an unstoppable alien Xenomorph killer beast. So like some of the other killers in the game, I imagine this to be a very fast-paced gameplay, you know, very fast character. And when you think about it, it's really a struggle to imagine a world where the character is walking around in a way such as the Trapper, wandering around, walking around loops and stuff like that. And I also saw a really cool suggestion online where if someone drops a pallet and it would pallet stun the alien, instead of actually stunning the alien takes a leap back and it misses them. And I think that sounds like a really cool idea, because just the idea of dropping a pallet on this perfect life form, this perfect warrior, seems super ridiculous. And of course, with all of the newer killers, the Moris are really intense. You know, we've seen some absolutely fantastic Moris. We've got the Dredge Mori. Personally, I like the Skull Merchant Mori. The Singularity, you know, they've had the Knight as well. The Moris have just been getting better and better and better. And with this being a huge licensed chapter that everyone's been waiting for ages, I expect this to be really, really cool. So I just cannot wait to see it. So next week, we will actually be, I assume, playing the PTB. The timings all seem to make sense. So, you know, come join me over next Tuesday on twitch.tv/hybridpanda, because I will be playing the absolute crap out of this as soon as it's released at 4 p.m. UK time. Ideally, when I think about it, the alien would be a killer without a heartbeat radius at all, and every survivor perhaps comes equipped with a motion detector. In a real dream world, when you're playing against the alien, all survivors see in first person. Oh my god, these are just dreams that I've got. Okay, I still think it would be cool if there was some sort of perk or something that forced the survivors into first person, just because that would be truly terrifying. If the survivors can't see around corners, can't see around walls, I just feel like that would be the ultimate horror experience. But, you know, motion trackers, probably going to be something to do with this killer, and I just can't wait to try it out. I can't wait to see what the map's going to be like. I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm just absolutely buzzing. Yesterday, I couldn't sit still. But this does kind of annoy me, because now when people ask me, Panda, what would be your ideal chapter in DBD? What would you like to see? I've no longer got an answer. I've got absolutely no idea. I mean, after this, I guess Predator would be what I would want. I don't know if you remember, but I reported many months ago that the person who is in charge of licensing for Alien and Predator over at 20th Century Fox had tweeted out a thing talking about Dead by Daylight and saying, oh, what do you think the next chapter could, or what do you think the next licensed killer could be in Dead by Daylight? And I reported on it, and it seemed a bit of a stretch at the time. Then we got the Singularity, then we got Nick Cage, and it seemed unlikely, but we have Alien now. So could the chapter that's coming in November actually be Predator? We know that it's a solo killer chapter, so there will not be a survivor, and we know it's also going to be licensed. So are we going to have Predator as well as Alien? We've got 2 Resident Evil chapters. Why not 2 Alien and Predator chapters? I don't know, but you know, if they did both of those, I've got no idea. I'm pretty sure I would just be completely satisfied. And that would be it. I'd just play those characters. Again, of course, if they bring in the Alien chapter and the killer is not absolute perfection, absolutely beautiful, amazing to play against, I'm going to be so sad. I'm going to be so sad. Imagine if Alien comes out and it's just like Skull Merchant. It places an egg next to each of the 3 generators and the survivors can never escape. But there's loads of additional things they could do with the killer. They could make it so when you hook a character, instead of hooking them, you affix them to a wall, you know, in the cocoons, like the aliens do in the films. Perhaps we could have a mechanic which is similar to the reverse bear trap, where you impregnate a survivor with an embryo with a chest burster by using a facehugger, and then as the trial goes on and time passes, the embryo is growing inside of the survivor, giving them some sort of timer. If they don't escape or somehow remove it, I don't know how they would remove it, but if they can't somehow remove it or escape the trial, then they automatically die, like the pig traps. I don't know, there's a lot of cool stuff that they could do. I just really hope it doesn't release and it's flat. Just a little look in on the Alien fan sites, and you can see that they're all talking about this. Oh, maybe I should start playing Dead by Daylight. Or maybe I could do this. Well, a lot of the people are saying, don't do that, you know, this takes a lot of time. But it definitely will get some people interested and will also bring some players back. Apart from that, we had a little patch yesterday. The Cenobite is back in the game. They fixed a bunch of bugs. I've got to say, nothing in there that I really am too interested in or, you know, changed considerably. At least when you go against all players Pinhead, your game doesn't crash, so that's a benefit. And in the patch, we also had the artists from the Fog Collections released. We've got the skins from Ikumi Nakamura, and also the twins by Reina, the Felix skin by Honeybear, and the Huntress skin by Jay. And I have to say, this Huntress weapon is absolutely outrageous. The amount of the screen that it takes up is ridiculous. It's really cool, but it takes up so much of the screen. It's very distracting. And I really love the Oni. I'm not a big Oni player. I'm, you know, not really a fan of the Oni. I'm pretty bad with them, but I bought the skin and I want to try and get better. And over on Reddit, from Agent Digits, they have drawn the 3 of these characters from Ikumi. Here they are, absolutely wonderfully designed. I love this. And then separately, we've got the Legion, slashing. How quickly did they draw these? Because they're really good. We've got the Yui there, and also the very terrifying Oni. The smile is just absolutely horrifying. Like, they've really nailed horror with that smile. And let's have a look at some other fan art. We've got a picture here from C3. This is Alien being welcomed into the franchise by all the other monstrous killers. We've got the Dredge, we've got the Demogorgon sucking on its head, and also the Singularity very impressed with the Alien. And the Alien looks very bashful. Really nice from C3. Always making reliably awesome images. Omegak with this super sick action shot of the Legion jumping off what I can only imagine is the second floor of Ormond, about to stab a survivor in the head. Really great posing, just a beautiful picture, really nicely done, like absolutely super. And finally from Draw 228, a really cool little statue of the nurse. I'm not sure what this is made out of, but it's really cool. I love how the entity is sort of touching the feet and giving it a nice float, but also giving it a base. Really cool. What is this made out of? I don't know, clay or something? It's well done, and I love it. And let's wrap up this episode with the Shrine of Secrets, and I'll take these perks into some games in this coming week. Over on Survivor, our first perk is Quick and Quiet from Meg. You know what it does. When you do a fast action, it doesn't make any noise. Second up, from a licensed Cheryl, we have Blood Pact. When you heal the Obsession or they heal you, you both get 7% haste until you go away more than 16 meters away. So if you stick together, if you're a Survivor with friends, you can go fast. Pair this up with Made for This and Hope, and you're basically zooming. Over on Killer, our first perk is Knockout from the Cannibal. When you knock down a survivor, anyone further away than 16 meters won't be able to see the aura of the survivor on the ground. This really works well if you're playing against people who are not in communication with each other, and also if you're going to play a sluggy kind of playstyle. Survivors crawl slower, they recover slower, and they're also blinded. So a lot of status effects there and a lot going on with this perk. And finally up, it's one of my favorite perks in Dead by Daylight. It has been my favorite perk for a hell of a long time. It just got a buff. It's coup de grace. Oh, Panda, it's pronounced coup de grace. No, let's listen to this French person actually explaining how to pronounce it.
Coup de grâce. Coup de grâce. In French, coup de grâce. Coup de grâce. But in English or American, coup de grâce. Do not pronounce the P, do not say coupe, but rather coup de grâce. Coup de grâce.
Okay, now we've got that out of the way. Basically, every time a generator is completed, you get 2 tokens, and for each one of these tokens, you lunge an extra 80% on your lunges. This takes you from going, a little distance to going a bloody mile. Pair this up with Michael Myers Tier 3 and you're absolutely cruising. So there is our shrine, our fan art, and just me going crazy over the alien chapter. Very excited. I look forward to seeing you later in the week with me playing these perks in some gameplay. Come follow me over on Twitch. Would love to see you there. We'll be talking about this chapter a lot and also playing a bunch of it on the PTB. Have an absolutely wicked week. Much love. Panda out.